Blessed is the kingdom of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, now and ever, and unto ages of ages.
On the 29th of January 2022, we crossed the checkpoint into the Turkish-occupied side of the island of Cyprus. We traveled from the village of Derinia and would make our first stop at the historical monastery of the Apostle Barnabas. The northern part of Cyprus has been occupied since 1974, when the Turkish government, with the support of Western powers, invaded and purged the region of almost all Christian inhabitants. Until 2004, no Greek Cypriot could even visit the northern half, and even today, no Greek Cypriot from the south can live here. We should also tell you that Father Panayotis was 17 years old when he and his family, along with thousands of Cypriots, were forced out of their homes by the Turkish onslaught. For him, each visit only opens a wound that can never fully heal. He only ever visits to show outsiders the plight of Cyprus. In this very special episode of Neither Here Nor in Jerusalem, we will give you a glimpse into a place that has been forgotten by most of the world. A place that was defiled, desecrated, and never allowed to heal. We also had the honor to speak with His Eminence Metropolitan Vasilios of Amochostos, so he could tell us about the significance of his metropolis and the history of Cyprus.
Yes, of course, our metropolis is placed in a very crucial area of Cyprus. I say always that in the district, in the jurisdiction of my metropolis, we have two important references. And as I say, these are the two lungs of Cyprus, the Greek and the Christian. The Greek one is Salamis, Constantia. And the Christian is St. Barnabas Monastery and the tomb of St. Barnabas.
The monastery of Apostle Barnabas was built in the 5th century by Roman Emperor Zeno under the oversight of Archbishop Anthemios of Cyprus. Since then, it was destroyed and repaired at least 3 times. In 1976, just 2 years after the Turkish invasion, the last 3 monks would leave after years of constant harassment and pressure from Turkish authorities. After the monks left, the pseudo-government of northern Cyprus turned the monastery into a museum. This place, which is one of the lungs of Cyprus, as said by His Eminence Vasilios, is being held captive to this very day.
Three apostles, but mainly we speak about Paul and Barnabas, but followed by the evangelist Mark. They came to Cyprus to preach Christianity, and it was the first country outside Palestine receiving the Christianity from the preaching of the apostles. St. Barnabas was originally from Salamis. The first coming out of the apostles, they went also to the Asia Minor, and St. Barnabas came again back to Cyprus with Mark, and then he was martyrized outside of Salamis, as it is said, the hippodrome of the city, and then Mark buried him in the place we know today that this was the tomb of St. Barnabas.
For many centuries, the Church of Antioch tried to claim Cyprus as part of its ecclesiastical territory. And despite the decision of the Third Ecumenical Council, these attempts didn't stop. Finally, in the 5th century, when Antioch once again started to lay claims to Cyprus, Apostle Barnabas appeared to the then Bishop of Cyprus, Anthemios, and told him where to find his relics.
After the finding of the relics of St. Barnabas by the Archbishop Anthemios, he went to Constantinople. He offered the gospel he found in the with the relics of St. Barnabas. He offered that to the Emperor Zenon, and of course the Emperor did nothing else than to reconfirm the autocephaly of the Church of Cyprus, which was declared by the Third Ecumenical Council met in Ephesus in 431.
After this, the head of the Cypriot Church was elevated to the honor of Archbishop, along with many other honors that only the Archbishop of Cyprus has. Today, Cyprus is among the oldest autocephalous churches of the Christian faith. After we finished venerating, we set out to continue our travels. Our final destination was the holy monastery of the Apostle Andrew, which can be found at the furthest tip of the island. On the way to the monastery, we made some stops at villages to see the condition of the abandoned churches and cemeteries. The first village we visited is called Tavru, although today it goes by a different name, one given by the invaders. Before the invasion, Tavru had 311 Christian inhabitants and 1 Muslim. After the invasion, the Turkish government repopulated the village with Turks from mainland Turkey. This church, dedicated to St. Sergius, has become a nest for birds and other small animals. The floor is covered in animal droppings, and it is evident that it was used as a mosque until one was built for the new inhabitants after the invasion. Before the last inhabitants left in 1976, they must have removed the holy relics from the holy table in the altar. Like the last village, Komanduyalu was also a Christian village before the invasion. In 1973, it had 818 inhabitants. It is now also populated exclusively by Turks.
The desecration of the cemetery is amazing to me. And this is the tomb of the grave of Andreas Paraskevas, Sotiris Costa, who were killed by the British in 1956, 17 years old and 12 years old, because they were demonstrating against the British at the time.
This cemetery is not an isolated incident. Christian graves throughout the occupied side were desecrated just like this one. The cemetery of Father Panayotis' village was also treated in a similar fashion.
We are on the way to the monastery of Apostolos Andreas, St. Andreas, on the further tip of the peninsula of Carpathia, Cyprus. And this is the first time in my life that I'm going. I never was able to go before, so this is a very special day for me.
According to tradition, Saint Andrew came to this area and preached Christianity. When he was done, he waited for a ship to pass so he could continue his journey. When one came, the captain told him they were out of water, to which he replied, "Follow me." The captain went with the apostle to a place nearby, and the saint struck a rock with his staff, which immediately brought forth water. The saint also healed the captain's son of blindness, and they immediately converted to Christianity. Since then, this location has been revered as a holy place. We were pleasantly surprised by Father Zacharias, who was diligently tending to his post. Father Zacharias has been serving at the monastery of Apostle Andrew for 59 years. He first came here in 1962 and has never left. After the invasion in 1974, against all odds and pressure from the Turks, he managed to single-handedly keep this sacred place from being confiscated by the Turkish authorities.
I am at the monastery of the Apostle Andrew at the very edge of Cyprus, the northern part of Cyprus. I almost came here when I was like 8 years old, but in the end I couldn't come because there was no space in the car. And finally, I'm finally here, and I am so moved. This is a beloved place for Cypriots. They come here, pilgrimages, and it has been in my heart to always come here, and I thank God I am here now. And St. Andrew may be our protector and support in everything that we do.
This is the spring that the Apostle Andrew revealed to the captain and his crew. As you can see, it continues to produce fresh, clean, holy water to this very day. We hope that this episode of Neither Here Nor in Jerusalem will shed some light on this all but forgotten place. Cyprus has been bitterly divided for almost 50 years with no end in sight. This won't be the last time we visit the occupied side. Next time we visit, God willing, we will go to Father Panayotis' village, Marathovnos. Thank you all for watching. We'll see you in the next one.